following is a Learfield presentation of the Washington State Sports Network. This is the Cougar Basketball Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield. Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Tonight's show is also brought to you by Zappos, where the Palouse comes to play and eat. Now, live from Zappos, here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
Welcome into Zappos. Oh, it feels like winter outside. That means we are really in the thick of basketball season. We are nice and warm inside Zappos. It is the Cougar Basketball Hour. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Excited to have all of our guests here, and right now have Donald Brady next to us. We've got David Riley and Coach Riley out on the road recruiting in California, so kind enough for assistant coach Donald Brady to be pinch hitting for him tonight. In addition, we'll have two players joining us. Dimitrije Vukicevic will be joining us, who's redshirting this year, native of Serbia. Excited to hear about his story coming from Serbia here to the Palouse. And then Isaiah Watts as well. So much to talk about with Isaiah. But first, here we are with Donald Brady. Thanks for being here. How are you doing tonight?
Doing well. Great to be here. It's very cold. It's nice to be inside.
Yeah, that is fair. And Coach Riley probably shedding that heavy jacket as he heads down to California.
He's not hurting too bad to go to California right now.
Pack a little lighter. He won't have to pack as many layers as he heads down there. And the Cougs will be down in California coming up this week. So Coach Riley on the road because there's only one game this week. So an opportunity, and I know those are rare during the season for the guys to get out, whoever can, Coach Riley, whoever else from the staff, to get out on the road, recruit, because there's no game Thursday night. That only game will be Saturday on the road against first place St. Mary's. That matchup with the Gales will get started at 7 o'clock. And as we kind of look back at what has happened since our last edition of the Cougar Basketball Hour, let's start Thursday in Corvallis, 82-74, the loss to Oregon State. How do you look back on that matchup at Beasley Coliseum with the Beavs?
You know, it was an opportunity loss, I think. I thought we played better. We're definitely taking steps in the right direction. Obviously, I think that culminated in us finally getting out of this streak and getting a win on Saturday. But I thought we played really well against a good team, a team that's, I believe they're undefeated at home this year. They beat Gonzaga there, and they played really well. Now, they then lost to St. Mary's on Saturday night, so I think they've taken their first loss there. No, we were happy with the way we played. Obviously, we're never going to walk out of a loss and feel fully great about it. We were definitely in position, I think, throughout that game to have a chance to win it. We've got to find a way to play for 40 minutes.
Seemed like the tough thing from that one was the number of fouls. 29 fouls for the Cougs. Oregon State attempted 22 more foul shots. They made 20 more than WSU on Thursday. How tough was it to navigate how active the whistle was in that game against Oregon State?
I think credit to Oregon State. I mean, they are a very physical team. They're big. They're big at every position. They start. I think their three-man starts at like 6'8". They're a big team. They crash the boards hard. They play very physically. Do I agree with every whistle that happened that night? No, maybe not. I thought our guys did a really good job. We've had some issues of handling some adversity or handling maybe calls going the other direction. I thought we did a really good job in that game. I think our coaches, we've had an issue of having that, of dealing with that. Our players, I thought as a group we did a much better job of kind of handling a little bit of adversity there. I thought we really focused on playing basketball and not really worried about those foul calls. Yeah, I think a couple go a different direction. Maybe we're winning that game, but it's never the reason why you lose.
It was fantastic to see what Nate Calmese was able to do. That prior week when the Cougs were on the road against Pacific and San Francisco, and specifically in that game against the Dons, it was very evident how under the weather he was. And Nate Calmese bouncing back in a major way. 25 points in the matchup against Oregon State. How encouraging was his performance Thursday against Oregon State?
Yeah, I mean, I think Nate has shown throughout the year that when he's feeling right and when he is kind of being very aggressive and trying to create offense for us, whether it's for himself or for others, that's when we're at our best offensively. It hurts when Nate's under the weather. It's a big engine in our offense, and it hurt us a little bit in those games the previous week. But he really showed up at Oregon State, and it's not just his scoring. I think he has a really great knack for understanding when he should score as a point guard and when he needs to get other players involved. His assist numbers are great, too, this year. And that was a game where he needed to score, where our advantage, frankly, was probably not going to be around the basket because of the size we talked about, but was his quickness, his ability to get into the paint. I mean, the kid, he shoots like 60% on floaters. It's unreal how well he shoots as a smaller guard at the rim. He scores around the paint like a post player does. So it was great to see him kind of back and have a game like that. And I think we'll see as the season kind of wears on here, these last 5 games, that he really is going to be the key to us playing well.
Crafty near the cup is a phrase that's been used on the broadcast multiple times about Nate Calmese.
He has an unbelievable knack. He claimed in an interview that he doesn't practice floaters. He practices floaters all the time.
Okay, all right. Well, breaking news here.
Yeah, sorry. I joke about every time he shoots a floater, the joke is when someone makes a shot that they work on in practice, we joke, oh, we work on that. His joke is that, oh, we don't work on that, but the kid works on it all the time. He's his knack, his ability around the rim with either hand, his footwork, the way he just kind of off-foots defenders, it's incredible. He has a real knack for it. I like to think our spacing has really helped him find ways to score at this level that he didn't get those opportunities at UW. The spacing helps, his ability, his confidence helps. But yeah, the kid is talented. It's unreal.
Nate, a big part of this, but in that game against Oregon State, there was a season low for turnovers, only 5 turnovers. When you look at the final stat sheet, obviously the most important column wasn't what the Cougs wanted, and that was the score. But when you see 5 turnovers, that had to bring a smile to everyone's face.
And that's kind of, I think Dave's talked about this. When we were playing really well, that didn't just happen overnight. It took a lot of work to get there. As we kind of started to go through that streak and maybe not playing as well as we had, that took some time too, right? It wasn't like all of a sudden overnight we became a bad basketball team. We just kind of skipped some steps, I think, in the process. We spent a lot of time last week focusing on turnovers. And I thought we took huge strides in it. We're going to continue to focus on it. It's something that as a group we know if we can find a way to limit those turnovers, our offense is almost on a historical level with the way that we are able to score the basketball. But you can't turn the ball over once every 5 possessions, so we really have to continue working on that. Pepperdine, I think we had 12, maybe it was 13, but it was another good step. We want to get that number to about 10, and I think that will make a huge difference in the way that we play if we can do that.
David Riley told us on the post-game interview after the Oregon State loss, when we specifically talked about the turnovers, he said how much it was emphasized and even mentioned that the team ran an old Tony Bennett drill. How was that accepted by the team? Did that go over pretty well?
Our guys are very accepting of everything. They're great. Our guys are great in practice, and they always, it's really on us. As coaches, if we give them things to focus on, you can see how it changes week to week and how much they can improve because they just pick things up so quickly. The drill I think he's referring to is that we started playing 3-on-4 passing drill in a small space, and we've continued doing that. We did it today, and the guys, it's working. It's helping. They're learning to play off too. They're learning to use ball fakes. Something we've been stressing all year, but I think that Tony Bennett drill really gave us an opportunity to actually put it into action and practice in our practices.
There's so much shared between WSU and Oregon State, and credit to the Oregon State fans. It was a good atmosphere there at Gill Coliseum. It was a really good college basketball game. The Cougs fell just a little bit short against the Beavers. The only disappointing thing to me is that's the only matchup we know for sure between the two, and that the Beavers, you mentioned how good they have been at home. Well, that the Cougs don't get a chance to flex having the home court advantage this year. So only one regular season matchup. Is it a little different knowing that the only other time you can play the Beavers is in Vegas for the conference tournament?
It is a weird piece of the WCC schedule that we the same deal with LMU. LMU had to play us here, and we don't go to LMU, which it's 7 degrees outside. I'd love to play LMU on Thursday night. That'd be great. We can get down there for a game. So it's an odd piece of the scheduling that the WCC has. It's unbalanced. You don't have travel partners. So it's weird. We would love to have them here, especially since they are kind of our former Pac-12 brother. That it would be nice to continue that long-standing rivalry. I saw something. I think it's like the 6th longest rivalry in college basketball.
Yes, over 300 meetings,
which is really, really cool. So yeah, it's too bad that it's just how it goes, I guess.
Well, that takes us to Saturday. So the team on the road Thursday, at home Saturday against Pepperdine, 87-86. The team was down by 12 when there was 6:03 left on the clock. The team trailed by 7 when there was 1:20 on the clock, and yet it was a 1-point Cougar victory. How was the team able to find a way in crunch time to get that win?
I honestly don't know. I wish I had an answer. I watched it back. my kids have become very big Coug fans and are very interested in it. So the next morning they wanted to watch the game again. So it was the first time I got to rewatch it. I didn't even realize we were down 7 with 1:20 to go. So that, I think it says something about the resiliency of the group, the willingness to not give up. It's been one of those stretches where you would think you've lost 5 straight. We're not playing our best. We're not, not quite ourselves, that you would tend to lose a game like that. And the fact that we were able to find a way, I thought we made some really big plays down the stretch, some amazing second efforts. And I think it gets back to, we had about a 6-minute stretch where we weren't doing that in the second half. And that's what got us in the position of being down 12 with 6 minutes to go. We've got to find a way to play like we did that last 4 or 5 minutes to start the game. I thought we played pretty well. We've got to find ways to extend that for 40 minutes.
One that David Riley mentioned on our post-game conversation was Tomas diving after a loose ball.
Unbelievable play. That
break that
crazy.
one down further, because that was the first one he mentioned when he talked about a winning play.
It's unlike any play I've ever seen. He was crashing on an offensive rebound. The ball is probably 8 feet from him in someone's hands, and he dove and took it. I can't even describe it. It was unreal. It was such a great play. It really ignited the bench. Thomas made a bunch of plays in that game that were just tough, winning plays. He had some offensive rebounds in the first half that kind of kept us in the mix in that first half. But that play was it was unreal. It was honestly like a play I've never seen. It wasn't even a loose ball. You've seen guys dive for loose balls. This was a ball that someone actually had in their hands that he dove for and was able to tip away. I think Ethan ended up picking it up, and yeah, that was a big time play. Obviously Ethan's play to win the game was just smart. It was something you only get from a 4-year guy, and it was the second efforts we're talking about. He very easily could have watched a difficult shot, a step back 3, and hoped that he missed it, but that the understanding of time and how important that play was really impressive.
Got the block as the Cougs were able to win it. Lawan making that bucket, giving the Cougs a lead. 11 seconds to go. They call a timeout with 7 seconds left to go. And then Ethan getting that block, and the Cougs sealing the 1-point victory. In that game, Washington State was plus 5 on the glass. Rebounding margin, that has been a little tough for the Cougs those previous 5 games. How vital was it to win the rebounding margin in the game against Pepperdine?
So we've been talking a lot about just the possession game in general. So those turnovers play into that, right? And then finding ways to get offensive rebounds and just we teams that shoot more shots are likely to win the game. We talked about the number of foul shots Oregon State shot, but if you look at it possessions wise, they just had more possessions than us. So it's really key. We've got to take care of the basketball, and then we've got to rebound the basketball on the offensive end to allow some more opportunities. But then on the defensive end, our defensive numbers, the way we've played, we've done a great job on a lot of possessions, and then to give up those boards it's just backbreaking. So it's something that's super important for us. We've got to win possession games going forward.
I think everyone who was at Beasley on Saturday played a role in that victory.
Awesome.
Because the environment, those last couple of minutes, and specifically I'm thinking about credit to Ethan Price, not only has that block to seal the victory, he hit 4 huge foul shots down the stretch. On the flip side, you could just feel and see the pressure on Pepperdine when they were at the charity stripe. They just went 1 for 4 at the line. What was it like in those critical moments, seeing the Cougs make those clutch foul shots, and on the flip side, seeing Pepperdine not being able to execute?
I think testament to Ethan, he's very steady. He's steady enough to know that he needs to go make a play at the end of the game, but he also, I was completely confident he was going to hit all 4 of those free throws. Those were really, they were huge, but the clock stopped as you're coming back. That really helps to have those opportunities and to know that he's that steady. He's going to knock him down. I thought Beasley was incredible, and there's been Beasley's been incredible all year. First of all, it's been such a fun place to play. We had been gone for quite a long time. We had 3 games on the road. Prior to that, we had played St. Mary's at home, where the crowd was amazing in that game too. So it had been a while. It was kind of nice to have that support again and to feel it again. But it was so I wouldn't have made those free throws. The fact that I made one was impressive. It was so loud in there, and there was so much pressure on those free throws. But having that crowd, it really is a major boost to us. And it's I think what I've loved about it the most is how excited Beasley gets about a defensive stop. I think the loudest it's been, other than maybe those free throws, was when we got that 30-second shot clock violation against St. Mary's. Crowd was going crazy. And it's great. It shows our guys, like, defense really doesn't matter. The fans enjoy the defense, too. So if Beasley can keep doing that for us, it's going to be, I think, a fun stretch of games, home games down the stretch here.
We've got smart fans. I guess that's it.
Really smart fans.
It comes down.
They know basketball.
It comes down to that. Again, we're here with Donald Brady filling in for David Riley tonight on the Cougar Basketball Hour. Still to come, Dimitrije Vukicevic will join us, and Isaiah Watts will stop by as well. We'll take a timeout. More from Zeppos after this. You are listening to the Cougar Basketball Hour from Learfield.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppos. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppos is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppos.
This is Cougar Basketball from Learfield.
If you've been having your McDonald's sausage McMuffin with an iced coffee from somewhere else, now's a great time to reconsider.
In the Pacific Northwest, it's never too cold for an iced coffee in the morning. Grab yourself a medium caramel, French vanilla, or classic iced coffee for just $2.29. Warning, beverage may cause craving for McMuffin or hash browns. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Nothing works up an appetite like cheering for your Cougs on game day. So why not cheer them on at Northern Quest with an impressive roster of restaurants and lounges? You can tackle the menu at Epic and catch every play on the 10 by 30-foot screen. Or grab a steak at Maslow's, a fine cigar at Legends of Fire, even a burger from Fat Burger. You know, for your inner linebacker. See more at northernquest.com. Go Cougs!
This is the U.S. Bank Cougar Coaches Show on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Behind the back dish, throw down, Cougar dunk! What a dunk that brings the fans to their feet here at Beasley.
Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Once again, here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
Cougar Nation, each time you bring your Toyota vehicle to be serviced at a local and participating Toyota dealership, you can receive a premium Washington State giveaway item as a member of the Toyota Rewards program. To join the program, visit WSUCougars.com/Toyota Rewards. Back at Zeppos on the Cougar Basketball Hour. One game this week, no matchup Thursday night for the team. It will be a Saturday road game against the current first-place team in the conference, St. Mary's. We're back here with Donald Brady, filling in for David Riley tonight, who is on the road recruiting in California. We've got a couple of fun Cougs that we're excited to talk to coming up. Let's start first with Isaiah Watts. Not only was Isaiah clutch in that game against Pepperdine, he has the most experience in a Cougar uniform of any member of the team. What's it been like? I know you've actually got to coach him before. We got to go back years and years for that. What's it like getting to work with him here at WSU?
It's been great. It was one of the exciting things about getting the job. Zay and I have had a relationship since I think he was 14 or 15. He's nodding. So yeah, something like that. Zay played for me for exactly 3 weekends and then he left me. So he bounced on me. But this is back in COVID times where we had to travel to other states to play basketball. So we traveled to, I think, Utah and Arizona together for a few weeks in a row. I never got to actually coach him as a head coach. I was coaching the 17s. He was on the 15s for Friends of Hoop Seattle, was the AAU program I used to coach with. So I've known Zay, but I knew Zay from, I've probably known Zay since he was quite small. I've known Don a long time. The nice thing about where I was in Seattle was that most basketball events took place in my gym. So I got to know a lot of people in Seattle basketball world. Donald is obviously like a very big personality there, and also a big key to a lot of the things that goes on there. He works with the WIBCA. He works, he does his own trainings, and Isaiah was a player that I watched for a long time. He's self-made. He and his dad have worked on his game. I can't imagine the hours that they've spent together in the gym. And so when he first came to play, that was kind of the first time I think that he played AAU basketball, and that Donald allowed somebody else to kind of, other than his high school coach, to kind of coach him. So it was exciting for us. Zay he's a great guy. He's in my position group, so I get to I start every day with Isaiah, along with a few others. But it was really great to see him kind of get to be himself again, I think, in that Pepperdine game. He was having a great year. Obviously, we've had some crazy, odd injuries all year, more hands and shoulders than probably have ever occurred on a basketball team. But it's great to have him back, and he's been working so hard to get himself in shape and to get back to the way he was playing prior to the injury. And I think he's a guy who he needs to see something like that go down, to really be back to who he is. And he is a big shot taker and maker. It was not shocking to me at all that he hit those 2 threes. It was more shocking to me that he missed the other one. He's not supposed to do that. So, but he's just a great guy, and he's been so good as an ambassador of Wazoo to the kids that we brought in as recruits. He did just an excellent job. He and Parker Garretts of kind of tying last year's group and the momentum that the basketball program had, and also just the support system of Washington State and Pullman, and kind of helping these new guys understand how great a place it is. Because there's no bigger champion for Pullman than Isaiah. So he's been such an important part of our team for more than basketball. He's huge on the basketball court, but everything else he does, it's why how the season has gone has a lot to do with how Isaiah was able to welcome everybody in.
So much to talk about with him. And then Meach, who Coug fans haven't been able to see in action yet, but I know making an impact in the program, and someone who has a bright future here in Pullman.
Yeah, Meach in the last 3 weeks has been one of, if he wasn't redshirting, he might be seeing the floor right now. He's had a great last few weeks where I think his body physically, he's done a great job with our strength coach with Zach, and he's just gotten so much stronger and so much more athletic. And he was always very skilled, and now he's kind of got this. You can see he's at the weight room. He's kind of walking around with his shoulders a little bit wider and hitting people a little bit more in practice. His background's really interesting. He's Serbian, but he's lived in Austria for a long time, so he's kind of got an interesting personality of those two cultures combined. He's a great guy, not only in practice, but the way that he kind of can crack a joke at the right time is really important for our group too.
Well, we're excited to talk to him coming up. Donald, thanks so much for the time so far. We'll let you loose, enjoy some food here at Zeppo's, and we'll have you back on a little bit later.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Again, that is Donald Brady here on the Cougar Basketball Hour, WSU assistant coach, filling in for David Riley tonight, who is on the road recruiting in California. As we said, Dimitrije Vukicevic will join us next, and then Isaiah Watts will stop by as well. That's all after this timeout. You're listening to the Cougar Basketball Hour from Learfield.
Dear winter, Toyota can't get enough of you. Because Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. And that's more than any other auto brand. From the versatile RAV4 to the Svelte Crown, the sleek Camry all-wheel drive, the Corolla Hybrid all-wheel drive, the rugged Tacoma, the tenacious Tundra, and the spacious Grand Highlander with all-wheel drive to keep you and yours safe. Hey, you bring the action, we'll bring the traction. Always Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/24.
a mission that matters, a place to grow. Schweitzer Engineering Laboratories is an internationally recognized designer and manufacturer of products that protect and control electric power systems worldwide. Employees are problem solvers, inventors, and doers. At SEL, you can support a mission that truly matters and create a career that maximizes your full potential. Apply to join the growing SEL team today at selinc.com/careers.
You're listening to Cougar Basketball on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hampton and Pullman is just a short drive from the WSU campus. They've got you covered for all your lodging and dining needs with the addition of their on-site bar and restaurant, Crimson Bar and Bites. You will feel right at home with their spacious rooms, famous Hampton waffles, cozy outdoor patios, Cougar gift shop, and the friendliest staff in town. Visit HamptonByHilton.com to reserve a room for your next trip to the Palouse. Coug owned and Coug managed. It matters where you stay. Hampton and Pullman. Hilton for the stay.
Are you interested in your company reaching Coug fans in and out of game day? As the multimedia rights holder for Washington State Athletics, Washington State Sports Properties helps companies and organizations connect themselves to Cougar Athletics in unique and exciting ways. From LED signs to pregame parties to the radio ad you're hearing right now, Washington State Sports Properties is helping companies both large and small get in front of Coug fans on a daily basis. Reach out to Washington State Sports Properties to learn more about what sponsoring the Cougs can look like for you.
This is the U.S. Bank Cougar Coaches Show on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Joe look wraparound pass, two-handed throw down dunk, make it a 10-0 Cougar run.
Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Once again, here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
Earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest with more slot machines, table games, restaurants, lounges, and luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. We are back here at Zeppo's on the Cougar Basketball Hour. Dimitrije Vukicevic, excited to have you here. So a Coug that we're welcoming into the show, who, as we said before, you're redshirting this year. Fans haven't been able to see you in action yet, but I know the future is incredibly bright. From Serbia originally, you're a freshman. How has life been? I would just think it's been kind of a whirlwind, right, between wrapping up where you were this time last year to getting WSU on your radar to here being a Coug and being involved in college basketball in the U.S.
Absolutely. It's been pretty cold. It's cold the last few days. No, I'm joking.
How does this compare to Serbia?
It's much colder. Yeah,
okay,
sure.
Okay.
No, the last few days have been a little bit extreme, but no, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's been definitely hard the first few weeks in summer, and I'd say till the start of the season, like in November. So like the first 2 months, the adapting was not the easiest. I had a couple of injuries, which set me back this couple of months. But yeah, I mean the whole level is just different. The practices are much harder. Everybody's competing much harder. We're all young, so we're already competitive, and we wanna be like the best in practice. So yeah, that was definitely a adjustment from playing like with the pros and older guys, who don't give that much effort in practice. So yeah, it's been definitely adjustment, but I feel like it's been better in the last few months, and I feel like I've adapted well.
Well, I can't imagine it. It seems like if someone was to come from Seattle and, you're away from home, that's a lot, and they can hop in a car and go back and see family, have family come visit them. I know for you and Tomas, it's a lot different as far as you're coming to somewhere completely new. And as far as that goes, how did WSU come on your radar? How did you get connected with the Cougs, this coaching staff, and David Riley?
No, I love it. First of all, I really love this town. I really love the whole culture. I mean, it was just like the whole WSU culture is great. I mean, I really love it. Facilities are awesome. People are awesome. Like, there's a lot of young people in their school, and I really like it. Really enjoyed it from day one. I can't complain, honestly. Maybe about the dorms, but I'm all right. I'm all right.
I would think it's 7 feet tall. The dorms don't necessarily have beds designed to be the most comfortable. Is that the case?
Not at all. Not at all. Beds are awful, but I mean, I get by. I'm still there, so I'm good. No, I'm joking. For sure, it's been awesome, and I gotta talk about the coaching staff as well. I think they've been incredible. Of course, I mean, we're like a family, and you're not gonna enjoy their company every day, but they're absolutely DB and everybody else, and I mean they've been extremely helpful for me in the first few days and first few months, and still right now. I mean, even as a redshirt, I feel like I'm getting a lot of feedback. They're coaching me a lot, and I feel like I've improved a lot. So I love being around them. I mean, I'm really grateful to be around.
Well, everyone gets to hear how outstanding your English is, but this is your third language that you speak.
Yeah.
At what point did you start to learn English? Was that kind of something that you learned from an early age, or did that get kind of drilled in later on? You picked it up later on?
I mean, it's all throughout life. I've been always pretty good at school, so I've been really good with languages. So when I moved to Austria, I learned German perfectly. I feel like German is one of my best languages. Of course, my native tongue is Serbian, which is also pretty good. Well, English I've been learning throughout all years, and I feel like the last few years when I come in contact with a lot of Americans, some American coaches, players, playing with them, I feel like I've improved a lot. And I think in these past few months I've improved a lot. I think my English has been getting better. I don't know.
Well, I got tipped off as well, a little bit of insight on you, that you got all A's this last semester. Is that the case?
Yeah, I got a 4.0, yeah.
That is fantastic.
I mean, yeah. School's been always pretty great for me. I feel like I've always been, I mean, it's not been a priority. I always didn't always like school, but I've been pretty good at it, and just I feel disciplined on the court and just off the court as well. Yeah.
Well, you got plenty on your plate. Everyone does who's part of the team, who's playing Division I basketball at this high level when it comes to life on the court. But be able to take care of business to that degree off the court is awfully impressive. What are you studying? I know as a freshman, you're just kind of dipping your toes in the water on things. But what is your kind of path right now that you're thinking as far as your studies?
Yeah. So first, I chose the business major. I'm gonna see how that goes. Of course, you have a couple of different options here at WSU with the business, with the College of Business or whatever, and I'll see into that. I'll see how much capacity I have to succeed. Yeah, it's been pretty good. It's not been easy, to be honest. It's not like I walked through it. I've studied. I've been on definitely worked hard for that. So.
Well, I can only imagine, and if folks here, David Riley or some of the coaches refer to you, or maybe some of your teammates, Meech is the nickname that you have, and you were telling me during the break there's actually kind of a funny story behind it. Well, you say your name because, I can say it, pretty well, but it also sounds different. Your full name for folks who want to hear it and just hear it from your mouth to their ears.
Yeah, so my name in Serbian would be Dimitrije Vukicevic. It's pretty complicated. I don't want to put everybody on the spot, so I think I like the nickname Meech. I mean, should I tell the story?
Tell the story. So Meech, if you hear David Riley refer to you, it's just typically by Meech or your teammates, but there is a story behind how you got that nickname.
Yeah, for sure. So it was interesting. The first day George Gallinopoulos came here, we were just met, and he was like, "What's your name?" Dimitri. Oh, I had a Russian player sometime. I don't remember the story, but we used to call him Meech. Is it okay if I call him Meech? I was like, no, whatever. It was my second week or whatever, so I was fine with everything. I didn't even know how to spell Meech or whatever. But yeah, Meech, and everybody started calling me Meech. It's just picked on, I don't know. It was just a sickness, and everybody. Yeah, it spread out quickly, and then I think we got to see the managers and stuff, and I feel they didn't know my real name, so they just called me Meech, and they don't know what my real name was. But it's fine. Yeah, I like Meech.
Well, it sounds like it has stuck.
Yeah.
So you've talked about how much you've enjoyed Pullman, and before we let you go here, what has been your favorite part about experiencing Pullman? Because you're a long ways from home, and basketball and school are going to be your top priorities, but there's a little time to kind of look around and get to experience the area. What's been the best part of WSU and the Pullman experience for you?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I spent a lot of time around campus, but what I gotta think about this.
There's no wrong answers.
I really enjoy the restaurants, to be honest. Like when we go off days, we often go like to Salas, always Zeppos, wherever we go, and it's nice. I mean, I enjoy the food. I'm not a huge fan of American food, but it's been nice. Yeah, I mean, I really like the city. I really like the downtown. Really like the spots there, and it's just off days are good. Of course, well, not right now. It's pretty cold, but like I said, when it's a bit warmer, yeah, it's a pretty cool city.
The team at least gets to go to California this week. I was looking at the weather report. It looks like low 60s. So for that game at St. Mary's,
it'll be a good break.
That will feel tropical.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for being here tonight. It's great to get to hear more about your story, and excited for what the future holds for you in a Cougar uniform.
Absolutely. Me too. Thank you very much.
Again, Meech, but as we know, not just Meech, Dimitrije Vukicevic, our guest here on the Cougar Basketball Hour, live from Zeppos. We'll take another timeout. When we come back, Isaiah Watts will join us. That's all after this. You're listening to the Cougar Basketball Hour from Learfield.
You know what I could really go for right now? Literally anything that comes in a McDonald's carton, wrapper, or bag. Or a McDonald's cup. Yes, any of those items should do it.
Or Cougar fans, why not get them all? Order with the app and get a bacon double cheeseburger, 4-piece chicken McNuggets, small fries, and soft drink for only $7. Offer valid exclusively in the McDonald's app. Must opt into rewards at participating restaurants.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Around here, the community is everything. At Adams Tractor, our strength is in machinery, but our passion is in building relationships. For nearly a century, Adams Tractor has been supporting local nonprofits and organizations all across the Northwest, demonstrating our commitment to the regions we serve. We're more than just your go-to Kubota dealer. We're dedicated to making life easier. Adams Tractor, where passion meets Kubota strength.
This is the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
This Washington State University sports broadcast is brought to you in part by Pullman Regional Hospital, the official hospital of Washington State Athletics. The combined expertise of our university and our award-winning hospital are being deployed to provide greater access to resources, education, employment opportunities, and innovations to improve health care and health outcomes for all of us. Learn more at pullmanregional.org. Pullman Regional Hospital and Washington State, partners in excellence.
This Cougar Moment is sponsored by Brown Family Vineyards. Brown Family honors the legacy of founder Andrew Brown's late grandfather, William Bittner Brown. Every decision made, from farm to glass, reflects their commitment to premium Northwest wine and spirits. Whether you're visiting one of Brown's tasting rooms or opening a bottle in your own home, Andrew and his wife Courtney welcome you to their extended family, where good friends, good food and wine, and good times are always on the agenda. Stop by one of our tasting rooms in Spokane, Walla Walla, Seattle, Bellevue, Tacoma, or Portland, and get 20% off a glass this season when you mention WSU.
This is the U.S. Bank Cougar Coaches Show on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Up and under, off the glass, had to get the little spin on it, and he banks it in. 90 points for the Cougs. They're back up by 17.
Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Once again, here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
Back at Zeppo's on the Cougar Basketball Hour. Chris King along with you here. Chilly outside, nice and warm inside here at Zeppo's. And we're excited to welcome into the show Isaiah Watts.
Yes, sir.
It is good to see you. It is good to know that you're healthy, you're in action, and making a big impact. Everyone saw that on Saturday and that win over Pepperdine. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Just excited to be here.
Well, let's go to Saturday. That win over Pepperdine, 87-86. Cougs get the victory. 2 big threes down the stretch, both with under 2 minutes to play, including that huge shot with 28 seconds left. No one was surprised, but it's still, I'm sure it felt good. What was that feeling like when you watched that ball go through and the swish on both?
Man, it felt really good, especially, knowing my dad was there. We put in a lot of work. I've been hurt, obviously, so we put in a lot of work, a lot of unseen hours, just a lot of time in. And to actually see the ball go through the net again felt really good. So no better feeling in the world.
So been back for a couple weeks. You got hurt in Seattle against UW. That hand injury kept you out for 10 games. What was that like? I know for a fact you were chomping at the bit to get back. How was it having to be on the shelf for 10 games?
It was terrible. I told Coach every day, put me in the game. But, I got to really sit back and learn and really, just observe a whole lot of different things that I wouldn't have seen if I was playing. So it was low-key a blessing in disguise.
Have you had to have extended time out with an injury in your career?
For sure.
You've had to deal with that?
I went through it at prep school, and that was probably the worst time in my life. So, I got through that. This little hand injury was nothing to me.
What's it like, and you're a sophomore, but I know you're so endeared to the Cougar community, you're so endeared to Coug fans, but what's it like being kind of the elder statesman for the team as only a sophomore?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I think I got to learn from some pretty cool people. Last year was definitely a blast, and I just got to pick up on a whole bunch of stuff, and they really showed me, like Andrei Yakimovsky, He wasn't a very social guy, but he knew Pullman like the back of his hand. So just, learning from him, Miles Rice, obviously being here for three years, learning from even our coaches, Kyle Smith, they just showed me how to move around Pullman. And then, obviously they left, and then I became one of those guys. So it was really cool. I enjoyed it.
And I know when something changes and Kyle Smith moves on, there's turnover with the roster. That also means there's opportunity. For you, in your shoes, what was that period like? Because I know there had to be some uncertainty, but I know there was some familiarity with David Riley, and we heard about your connection with Donald Brady when this staff comes in.
Man, it was hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. There was a couple weeks where we didn't even know what we were going to do. We didn't know who was going to be the coach. We didn't know if we were going to have a coach. So it was definitely hard, but, the work, carried me through that process. And then once, David Riley got the job, it was easy from there.
Love to hear that. I love to hear that. Well, we are here with Isaiah Watts on the Cougar Basketball Hour at Zeppo's. We will take a quick time out. More with Isaiah Watts after this. You're listening to the Cougar Basketball Hour live from Zeppo's from Learfield.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
The next time you visit Northern Quest, we suggest bringing your sea legs and your lead foot. It's the $100,000 Benz Voyage giveaway. Play daily with your Camus Rewards card, and you could win a cruise line adventure or a brand new Mercedes GLC 300 with an inline 4 turbo. Tax and licensing included. Speeding tickets are on you, though. The Benz Voyage giveaway. Grand prize drawing March 31st. Details at northernquest.com.
Back after this local timeout on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Get your home turf ready to play with the game-changing performance of steel. Enjoy big savings this fall on Steel handheld outdoor power equipment. Find yours at over 10,000 local Steel dealers. Steel is a proud supporter of your Washington State Cougars. Real Steel. Find yours.
Get game day ready at Rosars. Rosars is a proud sponsor of WSU Athletics and your headquarters for keeping snacks stocked up for game time. You'll find the largest craft beer selection, local and imported wines, and all the makings for your favorite cocktails. And while you're there, stock up on your favorite deli snacks, pizza, rotisserie chickens, and ribs. Don't just watch the game, experience it with your favorite game time foods. Get game day ready at Rosars.
This is the U.S. Bank Cougar Coaches Show on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Behind the back dish, roll down, Cougar is done. What a dunk that brings the fans to their feet here at Beasley.
Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Once again, here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
The Junior Cougs Kids Club is presented by Toyota. It is the official kids club of the Washington State Cougars, and it is the best way for the youngest members of Cougar Nation to show off their Cougar pride. Find out more information about your Junior Cougs membership perks at wsucougars.com/JRCougs. Back here with Isaiah Watts, the elder statesman sophomore for the WSU basketball team, and something that really stood out, that unfortunate stretch where you were hurt, those 10 games, and it's been so great having you back, is you've got style. So we saw you on the bench, and it felt like some throwback style that you had. Yeah. Can you tell us about your wardrobe choices when you were on the bench cheering on your teammates and couldn't play?
Yeah, big shout out to Pullman Vintage Market. They got me hooked up with a bunch of, throwback tees. I got a bunch of throwback sweatshirts. And then, I have I'm a big sneakerhead, so I have a lot of shoes. And then, being hurt, I got to mix it up a little bit. I got to stand out some way, somehow. So I just decided to, make it a point to put it on. I was going to cuss, but I'm not going to. To put it on for sure, though.
Did you have a favorite shirt or a favorite outfit you had from one of those games? I mean, every game Craig Elo and I were talking about what throwback you're wearing, and
there's the Wazoo one, and it wraps around. It's one of my favorite shirts I have in my closet, period. So that one is definitely a big one. I wore that in the summertime, but obviously no cameras around me then. So yeah. I had to pull it out when the cameras pulled up.
That makes sense. Can't argue with that. So for you, you're back. You're healthy. We saw what you had, that impact at the end of the Pepperdine game. Coming up Saturday, a matchup against St. Mary's. Cougs were awfully close with the Gales in that first game. They're in first place in the conference right now. What goes through your mind when you think about, hey, it's a rematch with St. Mary's and a heck of an opportunity to make a big statement?
For me, it's just making sure our team knows that we put in the work and we deserve to be here. We deserve to get this win. We're going to go put it to St. Mary's and, see what they got. They're obviously a great team, but, try to see if we can sneak one out at their home court, just like they did with us.
And what has you most excited about this final 5 games? I know having you back, having Reeve Avers back, just having that number of guys, because there was that stretch where it was single digits, the number of players that Coach Riley had to lean on. This is the time of year to catch fire. If you're going to catch fire at any point of the year, it starts now and it goes into March. What has you most excited about what is on the horizon for the team?
Man, the ball going through the net for me. I think that has me the most excited. Me just finding my rhythm. Getting that back, it's going to be huge for us as a team, and then it's obviously huge for me. I think I do a great job of just bringing good energy, and when my shot's falling and, I'm having fun and the team's having fun. So that's definitely a big thing for me.
And obviously your shooting ability stands out, but what you do on the defensive end and what you do as a perimeter defender, maybe not to the fans maybe see those big shots, but obviously that makes a huge impact on that side of things. And for you, I'm just curious, you're part of the team last year, and all those teammates of yours, guys who have gone on, a number of names we could go through, are doing outstanding things this year. What's it like staying in touch with all those guys that this time last year that you were shoulder to shoulder with here on the Palouse?
Yeah, it's awesome. They're at a higher stage, and they're at a stage where, ultimately I want to be. So I get to call them and really just pick their brains. I call it stealing information. That's all it is. So, yeah, shout out to those guys. Shout out Isaac Jones. Shout out Jalen Wells. You guys are doing big things, and I always appreciate you guys for sure.
Well said, Isaiah. It is fantastic to have you here. It's even better having you back healthy right now. Thanks for the time. I can't wait to see you and your teammates in action on the road against St. Mary's Saturday.
Yep, go Cougs.
Isaiah Watts, our guest here on the Cougar Basketball Hour. We will take another break. When we come back, we'll be rejoined by Donald Brady, assistant coach for the Cougs, pinch hitting for David Riley tonight as he is on the road in California recruiting. More with Donald Brady after this. You're listening to the Cougar Basketball Hour from Learfield.
If you've been having your McDonald's sausage McMuffin with an iced coffee from somewhere else, now's a great time to reconsider.
In the Pacific Northwest, it's never too cold for an iced coffee in the morning. Grab yourself a medium caramel, French vanilla, or classic iced coffee for just $2.29. Warning, beverage may cause craving for McMuffin or hash browns. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
This is Mohamed Gay.
Gay catches foul line high, pump fake, drives in, dunks it down, an exclamation point.
And you're listening to Cougar Basketball. Go Cougs.
Dear winter, Toyota can't get enough of you. Because Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. And that's more than any other auto brand. From the versatile RAV4 to the svelte Crown, the sleek Camry all-wheel drive, the Corolla Hybrid all-wheel drive, the rugged Tacoma, the tenacious Tundra, and the spacious Grand Highlander with all-wheel drive to keep you and yours safe. Hey, you bring the action, we'll bring the traction. Always Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/24.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
Welcome back to the show. Time now to look ahead at this week's game with the Coors Light Opponent Preview. Coors Light. Choose chill. Proud partner of Cougar Athletics. Celebrate responsibly.
Back at Zeppo's on the Cougar Basketball Hour, rejoined by assistant coach Donald Brady, filling in for David Riley tonight. With the Cougs not having a game on Thursday, that means that David Riley gets to be on the road and do a little bit of recruiting, and we appreciate having you here. What's the schedule like for the guys? If there's no Thursday game, how does that alter kind of the regular flow and routine of a game week?
We're trying to take advantage of it in two ways. We're going to practice harder this week, and we're going to give them more time off. So it's a great week, I think, for our guys. We had a really probably one of our hardest practices in months just because of the way the schedule works. It's hard to do that. So we had a really tough one today. They get tomorrow off. They get to rest their bodies. We'll have a good one Thursday and then prep for St. Mary's on Friday.
Something David Riley has told us about, too, just getting Isaiah Watts back, getting Reeve Avers back, that you can actually go kind of all out in practice, right? Because when it was so limited, that handcuffs you on what you can do.
I think that we talk about that process. Like, we didn't get good in a week. We didn't lose everything overnight. I think lacking the ability to practice hurt us quite a bit. We're a team that likes to be in the gym.
The next game, no matchup Thursday, but a reminder for everyone, the women's team is at home on Thursday, so a great opportunity to see them coming up Thursday night, and so it's tough when both are going on at the same time for everyone kind of following both, and this is awesome that everyone can be there at Beasley to cheer on the team as they have a big week getting started.
I'm really glad they have a home game because we just have not had many opportunities to get to see them play, and they're a really fun team to watch. So, yeah, we're looking forward to that on Thursday night.
And the great thing is for Coug fans who are maybe on the fence, who haven't pulled the trigger, well, everyone will be there. We'll all be there in Vegas for the conference tournament and excited for that and keeping our fingers crossed. Both teams have long, long trips there at the Orleans Arena.
Yep.
That takes us to the one matchup this week. Saturday on the road against St. Mary's, the Gales, the current #1 team in the WCC. This will be the second game against St. Mary's this year. Cougs lost in a tight one in that first matchup. What are you anticipating when it comes to this game on Saturday? Tough environment taking on this veteran St. Mary's team.
Yep. They're a great team. It's going to be – I thought the first game was – obviously, we would have loved to win it, but it was a fun game. It was just a really well-played basketball game. Obviously, we had some success in that game. I thought we played 25 minutes of great basketball, had a 10 or 12-point lead. That's one of those games where we point to where we need to be consistent for 40 minutes. We didn't have Isaiah in that game. We didn't have Ree in that game. I think Zay, all that he does for us with his shot-making ability and on the offensive end where it's really going to show up, especially against St. Mary's, is his ability to guard the basketball against their guards who are tough. Reigning player of the year who's really, really solid at point guard, and he's going to have to deal with Isaiah Watts this time. So hopefully that'll help us out.
And that was we talked coming into this commercial break. We mentioned it with Isaiah, but folks see what he can do on the offensive end, but it's got to be really emphasized, too, what a huge weapon he is on the defensive end.
Huge weapon. He better than I, frankly, ever imagined he would be on that end. Part of it is he's, obviously athletically talented, but he just takes pride in it. So, hopefully that's the difference this time when we see them on Saturday.
It's good having him back. Donald, thanks for being here tonight. Appreciate you pitching for Coach Riley. Well, that will do it for this edition of the Cougar Basketball Hour. Not only a big thanks to Donald Brady, but to Isaiah Watts, to Dimitrije Vukicevic, and on the video side, Jared Pringruber, on the audio side, Jerry Kylo. Big thanks to Luke Hallett back in the U.S. Bank Network studios. I'm Chris King signing off. Go Cougs! You've been listening to the Cougar Basketball Hour live from Zeppos from Learfield.